Ooh, yeah. Uh-huh. Mega Power Hour for that ass. Yeah. Coming at you live. Macho Head 84. Uh-huh. 84, the year of my birth. Yeah. Speaking of, Macho's got to mute his video. Okay. No problem. Muted. Yeah. The year of my birth, 84. Come, Macho Head 84. Yeah. And speaking of the year of the birth, we got the birthday bash weekend of the Biggie Shaq-a-mania. Yeah, my man Biggie Shaq. Years ago on this weekend, popped out the womb, the birth canal. Yeah, popped open his eyes, says, yeah, I can dig this. And he's been raising hell ever since. Without further ado, the other half of the Mega Powers, Biggie Shaq-a-mania. Where you at, brother?
You want to, Steve?
Biggie Shaq-a-mania. I got your tune on deck, brother. Don't you worry. I'll buy it. I gotta get through this 10-second ad, yeah, so I can get your Mega Power. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, Biggie Shaq-a-mania.
We're engaging the motherfucking Mega Power Hour, dude. Let me get all these drips and belts off of me, man. They're holding me down. I got so many fucking straps, dude. It's a strap master, Biggie Shaq, coming at you, man. Hey, we're going over it. Fucking shirts off, dude. It's fucking Hulkamania love, man. It's a Biggie Shaq-a-mania. So, I got some business to allude to, dude. You got some business to talk turkey, man. I ain't very good at this generosity game, dude. And Big fucking Smurf hit me with the super package birthday A-OK, dude. So, I'm introducing the Smurfinator Smurf Village Championship.
Oh!
Coming at you, Big Smurf, man. So, I got one more man to bring in, dude. We brought the lumber this week, man. We brought none other than the man that's been grinding and putting paint where it ain't for a long time, dude. We got the Big Bang, the Snake, fucking Rock.
Yeah.
That's right, brother. It's your boy, Bake the Snake, a.k.a. The Bake Show, a.k.a. Bake Bigelow, a.k.a. The Heart Baked Kid in the house. When I got the call in the minors to come up to the big show, I was honored to get the call from Macho Head and your boy Biggie Shaq Melody, and I got it all, and I'm here tonight. And from the Lazarus pit down below comes the demon himself, Fabian, in here to help take on whatever we're taking on tonight. All haters that hate the choppers going down Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah, that's right, man. We're going at the haters, dude. And Big Joe Ryan, dude, we got love for everybody, even the haters. There ain't that many haters, dude. And ain't nobody you know. So peace, love, and pussy to the community, dude.
I was there last night when the formation of the new addition to the Mega Powers, Joe Ryan and Biggie Shaq, came together inside that Comic Court chap. And I have to say, I think they made a mistake, Comic Court Chad, trying to come out. You just had the snake come out and bite you. And Joe Ryan, welcome to the squad, homie. Welcome to the clique.
Holy shit. Fucking bake coming in with some hot fire, dude. What can you do with the bake, man? Oh my God, dude.
The NWO and the NW Joe, we formed up, red and white, brother. Yeah, man.
Infinity.
Yeah, the Heart Baked Kid. That was damn good. The Heart Baked Kid. And
I got those nicknames back in the day, man. My homie would call me them.
Hey, look who's in the chat, man. We got Caleb the Comic Smurf Murphy, the very generous. One of the coolest AOKs I've ever seen straight up was that one for Biggie Shack. I feel like just because it all worked out.
Big 84, we'll come back. Big 84.
You gonna come back?
Look, I'm gonna come back. My audio, I can't hear you that good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna come back.
All right, I'll send you another invite just in case. But yeah, that was one of the coolest AOKs I've seen because he like opened them because he didn't know which was which, and he like opened them in the perfect order. Of the first one was like Spawn 1 through like 10, then the next one was like Spawn beyond that, and the third one was like with the fire was in like Amazing Spider-Man Annual 3, Tales to Astonish. Like it was stacked. It
Yeah,
was his
that's cool.
birthday.
He just recently got the #1. What, like last month? I think he's been looking for that amazing ASM Annual 1 for a minute. So that 3 is a nice compliment. And yeah, happy birthday, man! I didn't even know it was your fucking birthday, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah, man, it was a good fucking birthday, dude. I'm gonna show some of these books real quick whenever 84 gives me a shot or a chance to. But
Yeah,
good golly,
if y'all don't care, man,
dude.
and while you're doing some showing the books, I can do this little opening, man. Was it Drayvon Doom, aka Book Movers, on Instagram? I bought a couple books from him, and then he said he threw in a couple others. So if y'all don't mind, I'll do that too.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. We're thinking of actually flipping the format a little bit of starting out with comics tonight, and then on the second half of the show, get into our pro wrestling list of top 5, our favorite top 5 rivalries, pro wrestling rivalries. So why don't we just get down to business?
Yeah, I got a 5, and I even got an honorable mention just in case, because I know how much you guys dig the wrestling. So the more the merrier, right?
Absolutely. Caleb the Comic Smurf's in the house. Discovery Bay Comics. JB's in the house. Sam I Am Comics. Chris Barrett. Salute. True Believer. In the
I'm
building.
covering up this shit, but Dre sent this thing with some holiday wrapping, like a Christmas present, bro.
Oh yeah, that's how he rolls, dude. He has interesting package, but it comes safe. Oh, look at that! This is a straight up Christmas gift.
Yeah, like
Bear Island Comics in the chat. And if you guys don't know about his contest that he's running right now, you need to get on it. It's a cool one, and I threw my hat in the ring today, so I want to see what your Royal Guards.
I just got like 5 books real quick, 84.
Hold on. Oh, and then Comic Collector in the chat. All right, that's everybody. What you got, big dog?
I thought you were ending a sentence, dude. And I was just fucked up, bro. The Avengers Annual #7. I'm so fucking jacked off this Mega Power Hour, dude. It's got the electricity, man. You can't calm the fuck down for a second.
Yeah.
So, dude, this book right here, bro. Good God, bro. What in the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah,
it's in good condition.
I don't know that. I don't know that book.
Dude, this is the last Infinity Stone. It's a big part of the fucking movies. So it's like a $60-$80 book, dude. Some people it's crazy expensive, dude. And then this banger right here, bro. I know you know about that one.
Oh yeah. I should have grabbed it. Yeah, I got the slabbed one, dude. I love that book. Love it.
What was Bake saying about Annual 1? He wasn't talking about me, was he?
He was saying it was cool that you got 3 because you recently got 1.
Oh yeah. This dope ass.
Man. I wasn't talking shit, man. I ain't ready to start Wolfpack just yet.
Got another one. I just want to be real quick, man. I just thought that this is a good idea to show it. Okay, I got a dope ass Astonish and another one. That's all I'm gonna show right now. Thank you, Smurf, bro. I just had to get that out there, bro.
Hell yeah. Big, you so you unboxing a Dre Van Doom situation?
Yeah, man. So I bought these right here, man. I'm hesitant to show them because I don't want the community to start snagging them. I still got to buy more. But started getting these Wonder Woman balling covers. I always want to call them.
Oh, he had some of those? Oh, damn.
And then this one here with the Flash and the, I have a couple more, but, the main one I'm looking for is a really tight newsstand 72. I'm trying to go to battle against Thanatos with them legs. And then he threw in a couple others, man. I told him I like the Flash and Doom, so I got this one here, the Flash, 158. So that'll be pretty cool. I don't know if I should hold it forward or back. Let me see.
You could like that. Yeah, like that's good.
Yeah, that's all right. And then I told him I like Doom a lot too. So he had this. I guess it's Blade #2. Blade when summons Doom. It looks like he's holding Doom's head there. Like
Oh shit, dude.
Who knows? I'll have to check that out. Looks kind of cool. Yeah. And then I don't know, man. He must have heard me talking about gaming back and how much I liked Killer Instinct because I got this old issue of Gamers Pro with Killer Instinct. Because I'm telling you, man, like as an only child, I used to have to my mom was in a bowling league and I used to have to go with her, so I'd hit up the fucking arcade. And I remember hearing the first time, combo breaker. And you see on the side that 64 and playing that game, like I'd bring like $20 every week, save up to go to that bowling alley and play that arcade. So yeah, Killer Instinct was the shit.
Fuck yeah,
yeah. That was nice.
So Drayvon Doom, book movers with some numbers at the end. I don't know the numbers. Sorry, bro.
It's like 606.
Yeah, man, he's awesome. And dude, he sells books ridiculously cheap. I even had to message him one time and be like, bro, you need to put more money on this specific book because it has this and this specific with it. And he's like, oh, dude, thanks. No problem. So yeah, he's a stand-up dude. And you know, if you're looking for some cheap books to fill some runs, check them out, please.
Yeah, I think I bought from him twice, and both times, like great deals, cool books. Sometimes he throws in extra stuff. Like, check him out on Instagram, man, for sure.
No, yeah, I've been checking him out for a minute, but I just haven't needed anything that he's had. I'm like, man, these are great deals, but I mean, I got eight short boxes, man, and they're all almost filled to the brim. I need to have another auction soon to make some room.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, what do you say we, spend the next like 15, 20 minutes talking about them comic book rivalries, though? And we can segue that into a little pro wrestling list, Biggie Shackamania. You put any books, you got any books in mind that kind of highlight maybe some rivalries, or you just want to shout some out? What you thinking?
I got the Flash Superman Racing.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That is a good call.
Yeah, man. What is that? Like the second or third race?
I think this is the end where they're at the fucking finish line because my fault. Because see Batman there, and it's after they did everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but they
I think they raced 3 times.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, they raced 3 separate times, but I think the third one was like split into like a 2 or 3-parter type of thing, something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Superman won every one, but I could be wrong.
Ain't that some shit? Superman's just so good. Like your whole gimmick is you run fast, and Superman's like, "Oh yeah, I also do that." It's like, damn, bro, can I have one gimmick?
No, you can't. He's like, yeah, I could also put my feet on the ground if I have to, but
Yeah, that's like Cyclops rolls up and he's like, "Yo, bro, I can shoot ill fire beams out my eyes." He's like, "Bro, I do that as like a. Sometimes I forget I can do that." He's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I fart. Yeah, dude, I fart and fuck. It's like fucking. They say Silver Surfer destroyed a planet. Fucking Superman sneezed and destroyed a whole galaxy. So
Yeah. Chris Barrett's got a good shout out when he said, he shouted out Civil War as far as rivalries. So I guess I would take that as like Iron Man, Captain America. Were kind of the 2 big dudes that were butting heads there. That's a good shout out.
Yeah.
That's about all I got though on that one.
Yeah, that's okay. I got
must be a winner.
This one was kind of a joke. I was gonna say Tony Stark and alcohol.
Ooh. Dude, that's probably the greatest rivalry ever, dude. You can
right. The bottle, brother. Yeah. I shouted out. I was gonna shout out this one.
Yeah, I like that.
I was gonna shout out the old Batman and Bane, man. Especially during that Nightfall.
Damn,
Like Bane had his number, dude. Bane had his number in this era.
Yeah, what's up with that cover, man? Like I've seen some things say it's a second printing, or not that. My main thing is which cover do you want, dude? The one with the black flap or the plain? Because growing up, everyone wanted the plain cover, and now all I see is the black half flap. You know, so I'm like, and then I even saw some listed that it was a second printing or something, or cover B. And I'm like, last I checked, I thought that was the plain one was the legit like first cover, but who knows?
Oh, right. It might be. I honestly don't know what the difference. This one, I guess this is kind of like the one that I happen to have. I feel like the one that I used to have as a kid was just the plain one, but then when I rebought
I got that one over here, man. That back in the box.
Yeah, I always like the flap. I thought the flap was more nostalgic.
I want to get the flap too. I'm just curious, like, you know, what's preferred in the comic community. You know what I mean? Do you want to see all the plain, which is Bane and everything, no flap blocking half the picture, or do you want the flap? You know, that's all I was asking.
You're right. It's the same picture. My fault, but I don't know, dude. I just think the flap. That's
I
me,
think
though.
flap.
I
think flap. Yeah. Yeah, I guess one,
because that's what I got as a kid, man. Like I'm talking about like a 20-year gap before I started seeing these black flaps, you know, again.
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Mr. Miracle. Oh, what's up, Mr. Miracle? He shouts out the Thing and the Hulk as a great comic book.
I saw that. Man. I think Thing won. I think Thing got him.
I know. I thought the same. It was funny because I thought the same thing, but I was like, damn, I couldn't find any books in my collection that had the Thing and Hulk like squaring up on it. So
here's this guy here, man, without the flap. I decided to grab him because it was right there.
Damn. Now that I look at it flapless, it's just like.
So, I mean, like. That's what I mean. You don't have something like covering half his, like, what's over there? What's happening? Oh, hey, it's Batman getting his shit broken. Yeah, I can see it all. Look at them. Look at that, man. That's why they had Tom Hardy, because that boy with the traps.
Not for days.
It's a dope cover regardless, man. I don't care. Because it's not like numbered like how they are today, I guess, where it says like plainly 0. This thing is like 30430. There is no 1, 2, you know.
Oh, right. Right.
I don't know. You made me open the box, so now I have to find more rivalry covers.
Yeah, the Bates turn.
All right, yeah, this is my turn, man. I got one. I don't have a book for it, but my first one is the most obvious one that I think Wolverine and Sabretooth, man. I mean, that rivalry's been going on for a while, and they're evenly matched, at least until Wolverine gets his adamantium. And then even then, it seems to be difficult for them. You know, it's always, what is it? Sabretooth finds Wolverine on his birthday every year and attacks him.
Yeah.
Dude, how do I get back to the screen so it just randomly goes to who's talking? Because I have to keep clicking.
Oh, if you just, whoever you have it clicked on now, just click on it again.
There we go. Yeah, that's a dope cover. And I like that other one, like the 80s cover. It looks like Miami Vice with the shoulder pads when they're fighting in the snow.
Yeah, I think I have that one too.
I think that's their first.
Yeah.
That's their first confrontation, I think.
Here's a fresh take.
What you got?
I got one for that. Big fucking parasite knocking the shit out of Superman, brother. What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do with the checkerboard parasite comes after you?
I love that checkerboard.
Yeah, bro.
Man.
Parasite, dude. It was like Dude, this book is so undervalued. You could go get it for less than $100, probably fucking 9.0. I don't know, dude. It's ridiculously undervalued. I think it's a Neil Adams cover. And it's like the first guy that really stood up to fuck. I mean, you see some comical shit, but not like a real enemy that had long standing fucking could go a while. Like you see like new shit pop up, like I don't know, Beltman, Hercules, Popeye, dumb shit fight. This guy stuck around a while, Parasite's the shit. I know that he was a little bit more fucking well known probably a few years ago. I vaguely remember a Spider-Man Superman book where they had enemies coming at them, and they had Parasite and Lex Luthor. And I believe like the other side was some Spider-Man, maybe it was Batman. But anyway, off the subject. Yeah, dude, that's my second book.
It's very nice. And one that I'll just throw in real quick because and what up, Jeff Comic 813. Chris Barrett said Wolverine and everyone, and he's pretty much right because
dude, I got 3 or 4 of them, bro.
Yeah, because here's one that I'm showing for the first time because I got it yesterday in the mail. I bought it off Soldier Only. This one, I finally got this fucking thing, man. I've been wanting this for a minute, dude.
Oh man, yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah. So that just illustrates, even though it looks like they're kind of homies in that cover. Hulk and Wolverine, of course, great little rivalry right there. But one I'd really shout out, I'm all about that.
That's almost better than the number 1.
Almost better than what?
That's almost better than the number 1.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I know. I was gonna, what I realized, because I wanted to shout out Magneto and Professor X.
Yeah, man, they were gonna be next for me.
Yeah, man. One of the all-time.
They're the ultimate. Yeah, they're the ultimate, dude. Man, they have respect for each other and they're friends. But hey, man, your beliefs send you against each other. You got to do it.
It's classic Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X ideologies in comic book form. And one thing I realized, though, when I was going through books like with them in mind, there's really not that many dope Professor X covers. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never got a lot of, like, cool cover love. I guess, something about a dude in a wheelchair, they don't think it's dynamic, but I want to see some more cool Professor Xavier covers, man. He's on my Royal Guard, for God's sake.
Yeah, that was a good video. You had some good pics. You threw me off with like Drogon and stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. And the chat, we got some fire coming into the chat right now. We got Sam I Am's appreciating the Parasite book that Biggie Shaq had. Chris Barrett's shouting out some rivalries like Deadpool and Cable. Him and females bra straps. Those are tricky, bro. I get it.
Spitting hot fire.
Spitting hot fire. Mr. Miracle, to clarify, he was like 2 cool Thing versus Hulk books. FF12 and FF25. So put those on your hit list if you're looking for it. And Bear Island, Kelly Kapowski, man, dude, that's my boo. That was my boo my whole childhood, bro. Kelly Kapowski, God dog.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know, but next comic rivalry, you gotta understand, guys. I didn't know about the comic part of this part until the end, and I didn't know we were doing books, but I found a couple, and they were on my list. So I was thinking, Spider-Man and Venom, like,
hell yeah,
they're mirror images of each other, pretty much. Venom is formed the way it is because of Spider-Man's DNA and being attached to him first. So, this is a classic rivalry for sure.
I'm going to go worst rivalry. Is it my turn?
Yeah, all you, man.
Yeah, okay. I'm going worst rivalry ever, dude. Fucking Jubilee and Robin.
I know. I couldn't. I never liked pairing them that they got squared up. Marvel versus DC.
It was like a teeny bopper fucking kid show.
Yeah, who would have been the better person to square up with Robin during that Marvel versus DC clash? Because it ain't Jubilee. I know that much. If anything, Jubilee can square up with like Batgirl, because she's not really a true sidekick. That's why it didn't really jive to me. Like, who's like a
I
young
don't know,
kid?
man. If you're trying to get something epic like Superman versus Batman, then I guess maybe someone on his par, like Superboy or Kid Flash, or someone that he's got to like overcome some and use his mind to actually beat somebody.
But
I mean,
those
it
guys
just,
are
it
both
just,
DC. Those guys are both DC.
Marvel. Sorry, yeah, I went the other.
It
Sorry,
was one of the.
You know who it is, bro? The obvious one. Tell me not. Robin versus fucking Bucky, right?
yeah, especially before like he's grown up in Metal Arm. You know, if you have the original Captain America Bucky.
Because Bucky was a Robin ripoff, pretty much, right? Well, actually, he came first, yeah? I don't know.
I have no idea, man. That's too far back for me. All right, man. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta go get a new one, and then I'll be ready for this wrestling list.
Wrestling talk, yeah. And I agree with you, Chris.
I got a few more ready for it. Let me see a couple more of yours, dude.
Okay. I only got a couple that I'll show. I just wanted to acknowledge that Chris Barrett shouted out Daredevil and Punisher, and I was right there with you, brother. Matter of fact, I bought this book off of Bake the Snake. I love this cover. I feel like those two characters, they create a nice rivalry. Anti-killing villains versus pro-killing villains. Good shit. Yeah, Chris Barrett points out Bucky came first. I know once it came out of my mouth, I was like, that's right. Captain America is such an old character. But then again, so is Robin. It must be close. But
I have no idea. I would say Cap, maybe.
I'll only show one more, which is, I don't know if you'd call it rivalry. It's probably not the traditional sense of rivalry, but I've always dug when Spider-Man and Kraven squared up. And I got these.
Dude, what a fresh cover, bro.
I love these two covers, man.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
That one on the left particularly, dude. That one's really
this
fresh.
one, right? That one? Oh, this
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
No, the first the first one.
Right. Yeah, man.
Damn, 84. When'd you get that beast, dude?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You never know what's cooking, what I got in the cut, dude.
Holy shit. All right, check me out, dude. I got the Morbius. I love this cover, dude. Morbius versus Spider-Man, bro. Beauty. Nice bitch smack, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, hold on.
And then
you got that book? Dude, that's a hot book lately. Damn, I didn't know you had that.
I mean, it's a fucking second print.
Still, but it ain't like a Marvel Tales type shit. It's just a second print, right?
Yeah, it's second print. Yeah, but it ain't a second print in your traditional second print way, dude. It's like it came out about, I think, 4 years later.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Batman, Superman, which y'all touched on. And a book I didn't grab, I would like to have seen Joker versus Batman.
Yeah.
And I got this fresh Carnage Spider-Man. I love that cover. It's fresh. And everybody's been talking Venom, fucking Wolverine.
I like that Venom with the big Cheshire grin, the big cheese.
Yeah. This is a true believer.
Hey, Drayvon Doom popped in, bro. I fucking unboxed this stuff. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Love these and the Doom Blade and that Game Pro with the Killer Instinct, dude. That was my jam back in the day. So yeah, thanks, bro.
Another satisfied customer from the book mover himself, Dre Van Doom. My man.
Cheers to you, brother.
Cheers. I'm gonna cheer that Red Bull to you there, Doom. Colossus versus Juggernaut, says Miracle. Didn't they like
Oh,
merge
I got
together?
one here, man, and especially because I was away and I just came back and Chad reminded me to see him. TMNT versus the Shredder. That's gotta be up there as one of the best comic rivalries for sure.
Okay.
Fucking Megatron versus Optimus, dude.
That was the right here next, and then right after that was, of course, Batman and Joker. I mean, it's ongoing since the beginning of time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what's a fly one? Is
Hey, that's a good idea, 84. Let me check.
what you know about Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner?
Yeah. Tom and Jerry, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, well this could be a whole show in of itself. To be honest, we
tune in next week for cartoon rivalries.
Yeah. To be honest, like we usually look at more of a definitive list for the pro wrestling side, and for comics, it's usually comics that I have that I can show the point. So, sometimes we can't get as, I don't know. I didn't prepare a total proper list, but good shit. We broke down some rivalries. Good ones from the chat. Chris Barrett said Blade and Deacon Frost. I never really read much Blade. I'm more of just a movie knowledge of Blade, to be honest.
So, but that 90s movie was on point until that CGC, because that was just like Lawnmower Man 2.0 CG or CGI, graphics. But it was good, man. I mean, for the 90s, that blood stuff when he became the blood god at the end, but they were good.
They were good movies, man. Straight up.
Chris Barrett, Al Bundy, and Being Happy.
I will always love
Big 84.
a Married with Children reference. What up, Big?
Hey, do you think you could pull up the magazine shots you were talking about while we talk about our rivalries?
I could. I'm not sure if they'll jive with what we're actually talking about, but I got the magazines on deck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be talking about Hogan probably the whole time.
Top 5 is your list. Top 5 Hogan rivalries.
Yeah, bro, pretty much.
Didn't Hogan have a rival with literally everybody?
Yeah, but they were all so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, let's get into it. It's pro wrestling time, brother. So let's see. Oh, Chris Barrett. He says he recently bought a Married with Children #1 comic issue. Bro, straight up. What you know about? Keep your eye out for the Quantum Quartet, which is like a spin-off of Fantastic Four, where they have the Fantastic Four powers. Dude, it's nuts.
Speedy and heroin.
Yeah.
Oh, what a story. Yeah, too, yeah.
Okay. We're going to break down top 5 of our favorite, best, what have you, pro wrestling rivalries, right? That's what time it is. I can just get it started, right? So number 5 on the list, I had to bring up, because I recently watched a certain part of this too. Ultimate Warrior ravishing Rick Rude, right? Because that shit culminated in, bro, that flex off that they did. I forget what pay-per-view it was. I think it was a SummerSlam. Dude, that flex off is one of my favorite pro wrestling moments, period. Like, Rick Rude's out there flexing. Bobby Heenan's pumping him up. He's got his little
brain.
Yeah, he had the squirt bottle. He had the squirt bottle too, like squirting them off.
Yeah, squirting his abs down and shit. And the funny thing is that Rick Rude, like, objectively kind of like looks better bodybuilding wise and like is properly hitting the flexes. Then when it goes to Warrior, like, he's not even really flexing. He's like literally jumping up and down flexing. Like, it's so ridiculous, bro. And then,
yeah, man, he just did like a Rick Coke, and then he just goes out there and goes crazy.
Dude, it's definitely like he's mildly retarded or something.
Oh, yeah. It's like he's a child, though. It's like, it's like a rambunctious kid. Ultimate Warrior. And then, Rude beats him down with the little muscle, the flexi stick thing. But even beyond that, they had a couple good matches, and I just thought like of all the rivalries that Ultimate Warrior had, because he's not one of my, I feel like he's a bit of a shallow character, but when you see him in action, bro, he's a comic character come to life. Like he looks fucking ill.
That's what I mean. I was watching a lot of stuff prepping for this, and like a lot of people tried to call him like he was like the Sable, like nothing but just like something to look at, of the male WWF talent. And I'm like, dude, you didn't mean like. I'm like, the Ultimate Warrior was intense. I mean, at that time, he was on par with Hogan, Macho Man, and whoever else,
Yeah, that was the big three. I mean, Warrior, Macho, Hogan. He had both straps. Remember, he was
no offense, Biggie. I know you're a big Hogan fan. I'm just saying they were on par at that time in that level of wrestling.
Oh yeah, they were selling merch out the ass, dude, for sure.
Yeah, Warrior's a beast.
You were talking Rick Rude, man. One thing I always liked about Rick Rude is, man, he'd come out with them airbrushed pants, and he had all the different like dope. I don't know, like you went to the ghetto flea market and got some dope fucking spray paint shit in it. You know what I mean? Like it was gangster before it was gangster.
And when he had the rivalry with Warrior, every time they had a match or during that whole buildup, he would always have Warrior spray painted on his crotch and ass, like on his pants. It was just weird. I love it. It was my favorite.
Oh shit!
Oh. You never know, because YouTube's fucking 90, man.
You need to hold up an alarm clock with a timer.
90.
Yo, YouTube is 90. What is going on, fellas?
Yo, bro.
What's going on, Bake? I saw Bake, man. I saw the invite. I'm like, yo, Bake's on, Biggie Shaq's on, the homies. The clique is real right now. So I'm like, I have to hop in. I have to eat dinner eventually, but we'll get there when we get there. So what's going on, big homie?
Man. Good to finally see you face to face on this thing, this chat on YouTube, man.
Yeah, right. And it's live. It's not even like on an off-air thing, too. It's like
live.
That's how we do it, baby.
Pay-per-view, but it's fucking free.
Yeah. So you get into the rivalries. My bad to cut you off, guys. My bad, but
you're good. You can join into it if you want. If you got time, you're welcome to hang and list some rivalries with us.
All right, I guess so. I guess we can do that. Who was it on?
Yeah, I just mentioned Warrior and Rude.
It'll be good.
Yeah. I'll go get a power bar when I need one. That's right. So
why don't we kick it over to Big Bake?
Oh, first on my list. Well, I got a couple honorable mentions, so I don't know if you want me to like shoot through them real quick or save them for the end. What do you prefer?
I think honorable mentions last. Yeah, that way there's more suspense on who you're gonna pick, because then we'll know who you ruled out.
So number 5. All right, this was a big splash in the WWF when he came over. He was attacking everybody. He was calling out this country. I'm talking about one of Biggie Shaq's favorite wrestlers, Yokozuna versus America. For about a year and a half, this guy was terrorizing the WWF, just squashing people. No one had seen a dude this big. And then all of a sudden, what happens? The Stars and Stripes Challenge on the USS Intrepid. We had the Body Slam Challenge. We thought Crush Hawaii was going to avenge Pearl Harbor, and he almost body slammed him. But what happened next? Our man, Lex Luthor, with the bionic elbow, comes in on the chopper, comes in there, bing, bang, boom, body slams that SOB, and America's victorious once again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No, I didn't even really connect the Pearl Harbor vibes to that, because they were on like a naval base, like a military base.
Aircraft carrier, the USS Intrepid.
Yeah, I never connected the Pearl Harbor shit. That's right. That's brilliant. Nice.
And it was on the 4th of July, man. How more America can you get? I mean,
Yeah.
they built that up great. This guy came in out of nowhere. He was Japanese. And like I said, for like a year and a half, he was just terrorizing, squashing all these American wrestlers, just putting them down.
That's a damn good call, Big. Biggie Shaq, what you got?
I got some obscure picks, man. They're going to keep going that way. So I hope you're ready for it.
I love it. Where you at, Big?
All right, man. Well, my first pick, dude, I was going to go all Hogan all day, dude. But I started running the numbers and crunching them, brother. And I think that this one's a pretty good pick also. It may not be WWF related, but I'm going to go with Flair and Sting, my man. 84, 90, and Bake.
One of the classic rivalries of all time. I can't even argue that.
Dude, you could watch Sting and fucking Flair wrestle 10 times in a row and you would enjoy each time.
Sting was great, man. And so was Flair, but I mean, you know what I mean? Sting was that younger generation of WCW, especially if you're talking, blonde-haired Sting, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going, I mean, all the way through, dude, up until the last Nitro. The last Nitro, they had a match, and it was just as good as the first one. And, dude, Flair was just that good, bro, that even though it was the same match, that's the thing people don't ever talk about with Flair. He wrestled the same match every time, dude. It always got to a point where he was going to get superplexed off the top, and then, you know, he tried to do the fucking figure four, whatever, but it's usually the same fucking setup about every time. But it just works, dude. And then the chops and the stingers, and, dude, and you're talking rivalry, bro. These guys wrestled a lot, and there was a rivalry with them.
I gotta be honest. I'm a Sting hater. I've never appreciated Sting. I feel like he's never cut a memorable promo in his whole fucking career. No one knows what his entrance song is. His whole gimmick of woo. I mean, woo is fucking TM.
I love it.
Flair, you scrub. Come up with something else. And then his next gimmick was the Crow. It's like Brandon Lee, bro. Let him rest in peace, you fucker. Trying to take his gimmick. I don't know what's his finish move. The fucking box grab.
The Scorpion Stinger, right?
Scorpion Deathlock.
Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah, Deathlock.
It's just like
it's almost like the Lion Tamer, isn't it? Or the
it's more. I feel like it's more like what you call it? It's more like a sharpshooter. It's exactly like a sharpshooter.
So not a unique bone in his fucking body. Anyway, Chad 90. Number 5 on the list. Comic Head versus Sting. No.
All right. So number 5, I'm unprepared because I wasn't really sure. But just going off the top of my head, I'm gonna make this rivalry. It's a little different, but this is gonna be a tag team rivalry, but not just any tag team rivalry. This is gonna be Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian rivalry, because those three went at it so many times on them going on at it during table matches, TLC matches, or even just regular tag team matches amongst each other, and definitely had a big impact on my childhood. So by far one of my favorite rivalries of all time. Just those three tag teams going at it and always leaving it out on the ring every single time, man.
Sorry, I'm stupid. Can you name it one more time? I think I got distracted by the chat.
I got the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. That's the rivalry that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it was all three of them, man. It was definitely not just one team without the. I think all three of those teams had a rivalry amongst each other. So.
I like that. All right. Before we get into the next round, let me show the love some chat. Let me show the chat some love. Chris Barrett says Undertaker and Vicky Guerrero. Not really sure what that means. Was he banging her or something? Because that's not real. Anyway, Comic Jabroni in the building, a certified wrestling analyst who's got to. Jabroni's got to be a mega power guest soon.
Yeah, man.
By the way, Edwin, I did receive my prize. I have to let him know. Thank you, sir.
Ooh.
I appreciate it.
Bang. Prize received. JBL versus Eddie Guerrero at the Great American Bash. He shouts out. Mystery box. Oh, snap. Flair and Ricky Steamboat. Great Jeff. Chris Barrett says CM Punk and JBL. DX and WCW, says Barrett again. Yeah, buddy. Sam I Am, Heartbreak Kid, and Triple H. Hell yeah. So, good shit, chat. I would say, so let's jump into the number 4 pick, right? I guess my picks are probably more mainstream, I suppose. But I think they're just undeniable. Like, Bret the Hitman Hart, HBK, Shawn Michaels. I mean, that is like probably one of the most epic, and especially the fact that they got capped off with the screw job makes it a timeless rivalry, in my opinion. There was real heat. That always makes the best rivalries, is when there's real heat. And those motherfuckers hated each other. They would totally, their whole styles were like opposite. Shawn Michaels is flashy, gigolo Chippendale guy. And Hart was just the.
They were the same but different, man. They were both technical, and then Shawn could also fly if he wanted to. Really, he only did that frog splash, but
as far as gimmick, oh yeah, in ring technicians, you can't.
Yeah, so they matched up well, and that's why they were great. Especially, yeah.
I didn't mean I wasn't trying to be dismissive of Shawn Michaels. I think I respect him big time. But as far as gimmick goes, that's one thing about Shawn Michaels' gimmick. Like, it was basically like
a gigolo. Yeah, he was the Heartbreak Kid, bro.
Which, but when you compare gigolo, flashy guy to the purist, came from a wrestling family, Stu Hart, Stampede Wrestling, it was a cool dichotomy between those two. So, and they just put on legendary matches. So I'd say Bret and Shawn, man. That's my number 4. What you think, Bake? Who you got for number 4?
I got something different, but that is actually the screw job is actually higher on my list. And we'll save that for later. But number 4, I got, in my opinion, one of the greatest rivalries of the probably 90s, the whole 90s. Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon. That was just so epic. I mean, at this point, Vince McMahon was so hated. Like, the fans hated him. And Stone Cold was this iconic character, sticking it to the man, oh, hell yeah. And it was just great. He was always just the voice of the people, and just the way it smashed out. But the way it ended was really Vince McMahon getting that itch to want to be in front of the fucking camera. And he, all of a sudden, you see him rip off his suit one day, and that motherfucker's jacked. And he's trying to start wrestling. And that dude started hitting steroids that he was giving all his boys, and that dude was fucking jacked, man.
Dude, juice to the gills, brother. Juice to the gills, brother.
And then him and Stone Cold have some epic, Stone Cold stunners, Vince getting thrown around, flicked off, beer pouring on him. Some of the best promos. I mean, it was a great fucking rivalry.
100%. 100%.
So many people wanted to hate Vince and his decisions for a while, and then to finally start doing it in front of the camera and like actually being that asshole everybody knew from behind the scenes that was actually bringing it out in front of the camera. Now it was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, do y'all remember that? Like, when the McMahons actually started stepping in front of the camera, and you're like, damn, is this really what's going on in real life? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny enough, it was the screw job that did it. The screw job is what got him in front of the camera. Because really, before the screw job, it was like he was still kind of like almost like announcer guy. Like he
came down that screw job. He came down to the ring to make sure everything was going to get smooth and that Shawn Michaels didn't get fucked up.
Yeah, but he wasn't there as like the character of Vince.
No, he was literally there as Vince McMahon to make sure shit didn't get fucked up out of control.
Yes.
Because they were in Canada, man. You know that shit was gonna go crazy.
100%. Biggie. Where you
All
at?
right. Let's see, man. Let me see. I want to go one way, but I think I'm gonna go another. I'm gonna go fucking. I gotta do it, dude, because we got the click in here tonight, man. So I can't fucking delay it, dude. It's definitely NWO versus WCW, brother.
Just
Hell yeah, I didn't even think of that.
I got that on here, man. It was such a big group, dude. That's in my honorable mentions. I didn't know if it would completely count. So, but it's on there, man.
It was a pretty big rivalry. I mean, it started off kind of like tag team, and then it moved up to 3-on-3, and then it moved up to 4-on-4, and then you got fucking 30 of them.
Dude, do you remember when it first came out, when that first promo, Black and White, came cutting through WCW? You didn't know if it was a new wrestling league. You didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was just static NWO, and you're like,
oh, man.
Yeah, you didn't know. I mean, the way they promoted that, and I'm pretty sure it's all Eric Bischoff who kind of was behind that, and that's why he stuck around so long. But the whole
aesthetic
presentation of it and everything was just amazing.
Brilliant.
It was something never been done before.
Dude, NWO is one of the most brilliant things, one of my favorite eras of wrestling.
That music, who the hell was sitting there and fucking around on a guitar that thought that shit sounded cool? Because it doesn't, but somehow it became amazing and iconic and super fucking rad. Every time you hear that music, I'm just like feeling like I just want to start turning it. You know what I mean? I mean,
it worked because it worked because that's how good Scott Hall was, dude. I put 80% of it on Scott Hall, dude. That's why he's so high on my top 5.
He had that swag, man. Yeah, he's definitely up in my top 10 wrestlers for sure.
Yeah, and one of the funnest parts of it was as I was watching it, one of the things I loved the most about NWO was you never knew when some ex-WWF guy was going to show up and be in the NWO. You know what I mean?
Well, see, that's why I felt like that's when it started to get crazy. Like, I thought it was cool when it was the 3, but then when they're like, all right, now we got the Wolf Pack, we got the Black, and we got the Red, now we got this guy, we got that guy, we're splitting on each other. But not to say anything, that was the downfall of WCW. They should, the moment they started letting the NWO take over and actually really become the New World Order wrestling federation, so to speak, instead of it being WCW, that's why they went bankrupt. That's why they couldn't.
Yeah, when they got to like 40-50 dudes in the NWO,
it was ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That literally is what when Macho Man was in NWO. Think about that. Like, at one point in time, Macho Man was in NWO.
He started the Wolfpack with Kevin Nash, man.
So
Wolfpack was actually because you couldn't do anything else. You had to split and have a feud within because they had too many fucking people. You had to do something to break it up.
It was played out too long. What happened was behind the scenes, the NWO guys were promised like their own show and channel and shit. So we just kept seeing them say, "Oh, we're taking over. We're gonna have our own shit," and it never happened. So I put it more on WCW because they didn't let them get what they want, dude.
See, yeah, they had a vision then because that shit was going to be like how wrestling is now. Like, don't they have certain lineups for Raw, certain lineups for SmackDown, certain for each night? There's only certain wrestlers on each one, right?
Yeah.
So they were ahead of the game. They were going to be the NWO network or show where only NWO people wrestled. And I mean,
shit was getting crazy when Virgil was in NWO. You're like, oh no. This shit.
Dude, that's one of the dudes that would come down and wrestle in our league down at our high school. He would come down. They'd have wrestlers like him come in.
Freaking Virgil. 90. What say you about a nice pro wrestling?
All right. This is gonna be kind of underground. Definitely, it's gonna be super underground. But I'm gonna go. My number 4 rivalry is Kevin Steen versus El Generico. If you guys have not seen any of that stuff, I highly recommend it. The whole build-up between that, because they were tag team partners and they had this crazy, amazing tag team run, and they were a phenomenal tag team. And then the whole Kevin Steen turn on El Generico was just phenomenal. And if you guys don't know who I'm actually talking about, this is actually Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This is when they were coming up in, like, you know, the undergrounds. And I will say this, go back and watch Kevin Steen, El Generico matches, and you will not be disappointed at all. It was a great rivalry. The whole build-up and everything to it was phenomenal, and it's definitely on my top list. A little underground love. You got
generic.
What?
Bro, I just wrote that down. I have to go watch it now.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know about that. Thank you.
If you could even like watch like before when they're like tag team partners, like, you know, just to see that. But I would recommend the one match that when Steen turns on him, it's phenomenal because it's awesome. Like when he actually turns on El Generico, it's one of the best moments. It's so cool, and that's what sparks the rivalry. And then they match after match.
The best moments, man. I mean, you hate to see it because they're like brothers or tag team, but then when you don't expect it and it comes out of nowhere, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, their chemistry as a tag team was so good, but it just showed that their chemistry together, just even as opponents, was like even better because they're legit. I want to say like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens they're literally best friends, so they know each other's moves left and right, man. And bro, some of the best matches like in the underground.
It helps them improvise too. I mean, on the fly, because not everything goes the way it's planned.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and this is a leaner Kevin Owens, so to speak. So a little more. I mean, not that Kevin Owens doesn't. He moves still with his big size and gets on the top rope and stuff like that. But Kevin Owens used to like do some crazy shit. Like he was way more aerial and acrobatic, so to speak. Like they don't really let him use that as much in WWE, but Kevin Owens can wrestle, man. Like he knows like every move in the book. Like that was his whole gimmick, like was copying other wrestlers' moves, you know, and like he could do everything like perfectly. Like, so check it out.
I will, man. I wrote it down. I'm ready for it.
Bang, you heard it here first. Steen and Generico. Let me just check in with the chat before we get to the next round.
I don't even know who the hell they are.
Concur.
What's with you and the Ericos?
Yeah, that name's trolling a little bit. Generic.
No, El Generico. El Generico.
Right.
But you know what's even better? It's Sami Zayn wrestling with a luchador mask on.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a fucking lucha libre fucking gimmick, dude.
Bro, it's
and
so
he fucking
good.
pulled it off.
Yeah, bro, it's so good. Yeah, he would never even talk. He would barely even talk. Like
speaking of lucha libres, man, did you see that Hellboy versus Lobster Johnson cover that came out this week? Looks gangster. You gotta look it up. I pre-ordered it, but the shop's like an hour and a half away, so I'll get it in a couple weeks.
I left it on the rack. I got buyer's remorse or whatever, missing out.
I was like, oh man, it's like the ultimate old school wrestling like flyer, dude. You gotta get it.
I fucked up on that. That is a dope cover. We got Chris Barrett shouting out Tommy Dreamer and Raven, Hunter Thompson, Hunter Tom Helmsley in the chat. He says he used to wrestle his goddamn self at St. Paris Graham for his junior high and high school. Let's see. And you will say wrestling according to Van Doom. Feel you. Oh, I love this one. Smurf said he met Scott Hall drunk on a beach, and he was flicking toothpicks at swole dudes that were walking by.
I totally did think that too.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite comment.
He's really like that when he gets wasted.
Hey, Chico.
Hey, 84.
What up, dude?
Hey, can I ask Smurf if he likes his belt? Because if he don't like it, I'll take it back. What do you think, Smurf?
More rhinestones.
Oh, I think it's dope, man. That cruiserweight is fun.
Say something, Biggie, so we can see it bigger.
I'll put the camera on him.
Hey, if you don't like it, Smurf, dude, let me know. I got the receipt, bro. I'll take it back.
No, Smurf's gonna take that all day, yo.
I thought he would.
It's the Smurf title.
Did he see? I don't even know if he saw it earlier. Did you know that's your
That's
belt,
why I was
Smurf?
trying to.
Hell yeah, feast your eyes on that, old Smurf dude. Bang. Mr. Miracle shouting out Rey Mysterio as his favorite high-flying wrestler. And Chris Barrett used to live in the same town as Goldust. Okay. Dustin Rhodes. You, sir. All right. My third, I guess, I don't know if I should call it audible, because I was going to say Austin and Vince myself for number 3, because it's too good. Classic. That's like good wrestling psychology. Like, they just don't do promos or gimmicks, whatever, storylines like that anymore. Of just simple, bro. A badass working man who chugs beers versus the boss, fucking up the boss head to head. That's it. That's all you need. As long as the two guys are good in their positions. And I would argue that Austin is the epitome of a fucking cool dude you want to have beers with. And Vince is the epitome of a boss, an asshole boss, played it to a T. So that's one of the best rivalries. I just gotta keep it on the list. I'm not even gonna audible it out.
Dude, Stone Cold talks like that, man. I mean, you ever hear his podcast or whatever? He's full on redneck drinking beer. That was him to the T.
Yes. Yeah, and I feel like Vince also is probably not that far from that thing. So when you're
I always wonder how much stuff like crossed over into like the real when they had these meetings in the offices, that how much of the wrestling egos like actually stuck around for these business meetings, you know?
Right, like, yo, if you see just normal interviews or shit with Randy Savage, and by all accounts, like, Randy Savage was still fucking talking like this normally. Like, that was just how he delivered his.
Turn it off, dude. I mean,
yeah, I mean, granted, he ramped it up a little bit, but that was still that dude. Randy was just that guy. So that's why it's so dope when they're living it. But yeah, I guess the last thing I would just say on that is the props to Vince McMahon. Like, I know nowadays he may be a little, shell of his former self. He kind of, his creative is not what it used to be and shit. He's just an old man. I don't know. I don't know if he's still with it. But
no, sorry. Go. My bad.
What I'll just say is, in that day though, that motherfucker, the Monday Night Wars are happening. NWO is like sensation. They're losing Monday Night Wars for the first time, and Vince McMahon basically beat WCW, won that war on his own back. He was like, "Bro, I'll fix this fucking shit. I'll get in the ring and I'll show you motherfuckers how to do a promo." And like, basically Vince, I mean, obviously they had Rock and Austin, but I would argue Austin and Vince was the main attraction that built up, that kind of tipped the scale back in WWF's favor. That's pretty impressive for the owner to stack up and just do that.
To be an employee and watch your boss go out there and take them bumps, dude, that does a lot for you too, I bet.
Yeah, and kill it on the mic.
Yeah, murdered it.
And I'm sure if like Vince's office, people in Vince's office, and they're like, "Dude, I don't want to do this. It's gonna make me look stupid." He's gonna be like, "I kissed someone's ass on camera, you asshole." I see, like, Vince did crazy shit. Like, didn't you kiss a bare ass or something? Anyway, I concur. Austin and Vince. Bake, what do you got?
We're at number 3, man. Appreciate this one. For me is Jake the Snake and the Macho Man, brother.
Ooh.
I mean, he was terrorizing him and Elizabeth for I don't know how long, dude. And then when it finally came down to it, he brought that King Cobra in there and bit him in the bicep. But what a lot of people don't know is behind the scenes, Macho Man obviously didn't want to do it. Who the fuck wants to get bit by a snake? But he pulls Jake aside and he says, "Look, man, is there some funny shit going down? Like, are you trying to like take me out? Like, take Macho out of wrestling?" Like, he thought that they were plotting on him. And he's like, "Well, I don't want to be getting sick by no snake bite, so you get bit first." So Jake had to get by the Cobra right in front of him just to prove to him that nothing was going to go wrong. And then even one, or actually before that, he's like, or else we're gonna have some problems. Like him and Jake are gonna square up and knuckle up if Jake didn't take the bite. So he took the bite, and then I think he even wanted him to get bit again before they went out in the ring, just to make sure again. And he's like, "Fuck that, bro! I already did it." And they went out there. But yeah, man,
And he
that
made
was
him sit there too. And the way Jake tells it too is that he gets bit and he's like, "All right, you fucking happy now?" And he's like, "No." He made him sit there in front of him for like 20 minutes. He goes, "I want to make sure you don't have no antidote."
yeah. The way
Yeah.
he said it was like, "I want to make sure I don't get sick." And you're just like, "What do you mean, like die, like from Venom? Like that's what you're talking about?"
Right. Yeah, and you know what though? Macho Man would have probably beat his ass if he didn't do what he said too.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Macho
For real.
Man Cole.
But all the real shit aside, I mean, it was great. I mean, Jake the Snake had one of the greatest gimmicks of all time. He had real fucking snakes, and then to have a cobra come out and bite, and then the fang got stuck in, or no, was that it was either the cobra or the python. The fang got stuck, and you see the head twisting and shit. And I mean, it was great. I mean, as a kid, as a young boy, I was just like, dude, snakes are rad. Jake the Snake is awesome. He's got the snakeskin boots. He's just this killer dude.
Beast. Jake the Snake is an underrated legend. Him terrorizing them at the wedding was fucking dope too.
Yo, Miss Explain, what's up? Oh, and Stay Puff, bro, what's up? The resident, one of the WWF or just wrestling all around experts, man. Check him out on Instagram, dude. He does some great write-ups.
100%. He posts fire. Stay Puff. And just know, whenever you want to get frisky and jump in front of that camera, Stay Puff, you have an all-day invitation on the Mega Power Hour, bro.
Dude, Stay Puff is that Dylon, that, you know, the 5 greatest rappers alive. Dylon, and Dylon. Because I spit hot fire. What? Booyaka.
Bro, Big Shaq, if you had Instagram, you would know where Puff's fucking street cred comes from, bro, because he has a fire Instagram page with dope wrestling clips, and he's one of my favorite Instagrammers, bro. He knows his shit. So props to Puff. Boat right.
Puff.
Puff.
Y'all don't know who Dylon is? Go watch
Boat right in the building. What's going on, Boat right?
The artiste, Kachung in the house. Joe 4771. Baby. Comics Misexplained, my guy. Beautiful. Biggie Shaq. Where you at with number Trace?
Right before I get in my number 3, man, I want to get that visual from fucking Bake. Why don't you put your Damien on your forearm real quick for me, dude? I just want to see. Can you do that for me, Bake?
Yeah, there he is. He's ready.
Fabian.
Here.
Keep that snake away from me. I don't want to get sick. Don't make me sick. Yeah, I got work to do.
Bro, I still can't believe I got this in this fucking hat from China for a total of $3.50, and that's shipped to my door from China for $3.50.
What?
Are you kidding me? Cha.
How do you get anything shipped for $3 from China?
I don't know, man, but it happened.
You can, dude.
That's incredible.
Right? You can't ship for comic books for less than $8, but you can ship some shit from China for $3.50.
God damn, that's incredible deal, actually. But that's not even covering whatever vehicle took that package there. That didn't even cover like the gas of the fucking boat or whatever.
Exactly.
Man, I just don't understand, man. All right, Big Shaq.
All right. I'm just gonna get right into it, dude. The greatest rivalry of all time, man. I'm sure I'm still in 84's Thunder because I bet he's got this one on the list, dude.
Well, we're at number 3. So not of all time, right? Number 3. 3, right?
Oh, okay. I mean, it's just my number 3, dude. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Fuck it.
Okay.
Fucking Macho Man Hogan, dude.
Woo! Wait.
That's bro. Macho Man really fucking hated Hogan. I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory. Fucking Macho Man and Hogan hung out heavy, dude. Heavy as fuck, bro. They were like best friends. And the story goes, dude, like he would hang out with them, bro. And I think Macho Man fucking said that Hulk Hogan tried to fuck him. Like Hogan's gay.
They were swingers and shit, bro, and they were high on dope. Who knows?
I'm just saying. And then fucking Macho Man would get super. That shit with Elizabeth was he thought Hogan was fucking Liz, which was probably bullshit, you know. But that's how the story goes, dude.
Yeah. That's how it goes down.
Hogan tried to penetrate Macho. Didn't appreciate it one bit. That's what started the beef. Hey, I definitely can't disagree with that. I just feel like strapping up. I can't disagree with that, man. That's a great pick. Mega Power.
Yeah. It
Chad
lasted
90.
forever, dude.
My number 3.
Hit it.
I'm going with Cactus Jack versus Terry Funk. If you guys have not seen any of those death matches, you are crazy because those things are freaking amazing and they're incredible. And that's probably one of the craziest rivalries you'll ever see in your life. So I'm taking everyone for a little roller coaster of top 5s of my favorite rivalries because I'm trying to think outside the box here. And that's one rivalry that is awesome if you've not seen those, man.
Yeah, I was thinking of swapping out Austin and Vince when Big said that with those guys. I love that shit. What do you think? I know some people hate on, like, if you ever hear Jim Cornette talk, he's an entertaining and knowledgeable dude. He hates hardcore wrestling, and he really shits on it as he thinks it's like buffoonery, you know.
Well, he was like invested in. He's part of the WWF, wasn't he? He was more of a higher up.
At one point in time, I don't think so anymore. But no, I think he's more or less of just that, you know, I guess just the whole traditional style type and of wrestling. And even, you know, he doesn't even, I think, like, you know, people knowing that, you know, they're all friends, you know, like heels and faces, even outside of wrestling, shouldn't, you know, interact with each other because it would mess with the storylines. Like he's such a wrestling purist. I guess that was the word I was trying to find as I was scrambling my words there. So he's such a wrestling purist, that's for sure. I don't know. I love hardcore matches, man. Like,
yeah, me too.
It's a whole nother element of wrestling. I mean, at one point in time, like the wrestling had to evolve. It was getting stale, right? So how do we make this more entertaining? You know, it sounds crazy, but people are attracted to violence since the beginning of time. I mean, the Coliseum, we used to let people just go straight up at it against each other. And
dude, do you remember hardcore wrestling was basically backyard wrestling, and you used to look it up, and then finally they said, dude, they got something. We need to put this in front of the camera. And then that's what, you know, so that I can see Cornette being pissed because, I mean, something that would come out on WWF or whatever, WCW once a year, these other organizations were doing every fucking night. I mean, it would, of course he's pissed because the dope shit's happening in this other league and everyone's wanting to watch this.
I mean, it was shocking, bro, to see them light a table on fire.
Bar
through it.
I mean, the whole night.
To their head. Yeah. Some bag of thumbtacks, smash. They're still sticking into their back.
I used to watch those in bum fights. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, that might be a South Florida thing, yo. Like he's there for sure, yo. Like
BFK, bum fight row. Bum fights and backyard wrestling used to be the shit back in the day, man.
Yeah. I know in bum fights they had that bum it wasn't even loose or nothing. They just yanked his teeth out with a plumber.
Yeah, that's where he like stuck his crack pipe or whatever.
Yeah, Rufus the stunt bum, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys know about that. I thought I was just weird for the last 15 years.
Definitely not.
Man. Bum fights,
that's why we clicked up, baby.
That's why Bakes click, son. All right, let me roll on through to my number 2. It just got shouted out. It could potentially be number 1, but goddamn, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, baby. The American Dream. Hard times, daddy. hard times that your job got taken by a computer. There's no honor among thieves in the first place. So what I loved about that, aside from the dope matches and shit, is again, it's beautiful storyline that's like I feel like pretty pure and straightforward. Rich, braggadocious asshole, and the common man, Duther Rhodes. Thank you very much. Type dude, blue collar, is beautiful. That kind of pairing up. I feel like that's the one thing about Ric Flair's like heel run is I feel like he was so likable. It's like rappers and shit because that's basically what he was. He's like a flossing ass rapper, and I feel like even people still.
I don't know, but he likable only to some people. Yo, he was a true heel, bro. Like the ladies liked him, but like, yo, he would go into towns. Like for instance, like people wanted to see Ric Flair lose because he was the NWA champion, and he was the one that had to go to every single territory. So when he went into everyone's territory, you wanted to see your guy win. You didn't want to see Ric Flair win because then he was going to be still going on to the next territory. So like he was not really.
Fine,
I mean,
but then that's not really.
Ric Flair has come like
not really him.
over the years because of rap and all that type of stuff, and people showing him love that way, and of course the respect for wrestling and how old he was and how he went out. But during his heyday, bro, he was hated, bro. You kidding me? Like they hated that guy.
I mean, I think he was so entertaining. You couldn't help but find him funny, though. But what I was going to say was I think Dusty Rhodes, his beef with Dusty Rhodes is kind of what he was the perfect foil to really making Flair look like an asshole. Because when you put him contrast to just an honest blue-collar gimmick like Rhodes, it highlights that Flair's kind of a dick because otherwise you can kind of get caught up in like his flashiness because he's a great talker and shit. But I just thought Dusty was like the perfect foil for him.
All right, I gotta say this, man, just because after that, I was never really a fan of Flair. Like he was just too plain Jane for me. I was just like late 80s, 90s guy, and
in the ring. Plain Jane or
yeah, just like his outfit, like what he did. I mean, he did the woo woo, but even for me.
Well, all right, hold on. Let us get all to the rest of the list before we start going.
Hold on.
Hey, I got Flair on my list. I ain't telling you where he's at on my list with his rivalry, but I think you need to go back and watch some of those old 70s matches. And there's two that I've told Kenny to go watch that he needs to go see. And I'm going to say
you gotta respect Flair and what he's done and where he's been and how he's done it. I'm just saying, like for me personally, like when I was in that realm of watching wrestling, he just never did it for me, man. Like, sorry. That's just me, you know?
Dude, to call his outfits plain Jane, though, dude, them fucking robes cost 30
No,
grand,
not the robes.
brother.
I mean, just his wrestling get up.
Holy shit, that was some shit.
The Speedos and the knee pad, that's it. Like, he was just the plain dude, you know? Yeah, he had the robe. I get that.
I was, bro, you know how many, do you know how many 60-minute Iron Man matches that guy has had? Do you know that Hulk Hogan has even said, like, the real wrestling was Ric Flair? Like, I don't think you understand, man. Ric Flair.
I know. I'm just saying, like, for me, that's just me.
Hey, but one thing I will say, overall, I disagree with that point, but I can see that if, say you didn't go back through the history of Flair, and you were a fan that popped up in the middle of the 80s and the 90s, and you watching WWF, right?
Yeah, and then he came in.
If you cut the promos out of it, because I think even the promos will fly in WWF, but say you cut all that out of it, if you just based them on in-ring performance, I will say that in the time that I was mostly watching the wrestling, like in those 90s, late 80s, I could say that Flair, you know, he wasn't the most like stunning performer.
And that's what I'm talking about. 90s WWF. That was my jam. And then all of a sudden Ric Flair comes in and he's wearing just the plain red Speedos and knee pads and he does a figure 4 leg lock. And I'd never really seen him that much before. I wasn't a WCW guy. And I had to go back later on in life, you know, I'm talking about when I'm a kid, dude. Like back then, my initial feelings. You know, this guy comes in and he's still kind of old and he's wearing chicks' robes, and you know, not till later on, dude. Like you said, Chad, not till later on with the hip hop community and started respecting his promos. Really, that. Dude, he was kind of fruity. He had the Bon Jovi hair.
I think
You know what I mean? Like he was milking the same fucking gimmick for the last 50 years, and it's like, all right, bro. I think he's the only wrestler that never changed.
his gimmick, well, I mean, his gimmick worked. It made him a lot of money. I guess for me, yes, I'm probably the same age as you, Bake, but as someone that loves wrestling, like I've literally have gone back and like just watched.
Oh yeah,
like,
I respect. I don't want to like get it twisted like I'm talking trash on Flair.
Things like if you go back and really watch his stuff and watch the promos he was cutting and watch the things that he was doing, like he was literally like so far ahead of his time, man. He really was.
Dude, I love him now. Like I'm not trying. I'm just saying my initial when I was a kid watching WWF when he came in, like you were saying, Kenny, like that. I mean, I was like, who the hell's this dude with the fucking feathered hair and the damn robes? Like, I'm just giving you my initial response.
Yeah, but then if you think about that, he goes through the WCW thing, goes through the WWF thing, and then for a while he went, you know, he like retired. But then he came back into WWE and he started the faction with Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, and Triple H. And that wasn't like for his at that time. If you look at the stuff that he was doing then, it's almost like mind blowing that he was doing it at that age, and almost like reinvented himself as like I guess as like a person. I want to say his character. He's still Ric Flair. He didn't really change his character, but he was like reinvented as a person. And he was like 60 years old, but like throwing down in the ring, man. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So for everybody in the chat, like I want to clarify, I'm not like dissing on Ric Flair. Like I've learned to love him as my life has progressed. I'm just giving you my initial response as a little boy watching wrestling when I first saw Flair. Like that's all I'm saying. Okay, guys.
No, for sure.
I love it.
I don't want to piss off the chat. You never know.
I respect. Hey, I respect the hot.
It's a safe place, right? We're in a safe place, safe circle of trust.
Like, I love it. I love motherfuckers keep it real. Like I said, people probably love Sting. I think he's straight trash, and I didn't. And over the years, I grew to hate him more. What you know about that?
Yeah.
So I didn't learn to love him. I went to say he's more trash.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I guess I love Ric Flair so much. It hurts.
Yeah.
Dude, after I hit like puberty and was listening to more music and like hip hop and everything, like later on, like I said, you listen to a Flair promo, he's pimp. Like you watch the Dolomite or Superfly. And Ric Flair's dressed in pimp, dude. I mean, I'm just saying, like, but as a little boy, my first initial, like, why is he wearing girls' clothes? You know what I mean? Like,
I hear you.
Yeah, and as far as like, and maybe people love to hate him is maybe the point I was trying to make, like Puff said. But as far as like, he was just so cool. And maybe I'm looking at it in hindsight because I wasn't seeing him live in the '70s. But I feel like the person who made himself more hateable is like Ted DiBiase, played the rich asshole braggadocious guy as a heel better than Flair. Like no one thought $1 Million Man was cool. Like everyone thought $1 Million Man was a dick.
Get off this, bro. Let me give you my 2. You just said Ted is better than Flair as a heel. All right, let me give you my 2 so I can get the hell out. That's crazy.
No. Better at the rich asshole. Better at the rich asshole gimmick.
Oh,
anyway, go ahead.
No, it was Biggie Shack's up. The champ goes last. You know the drills.
Hey man,
ahead,
I'll let
Biggie
you go. I'll let you go if you got it bounced, 90. You can go, dude.
No. I'm just talking, Matt. I'm just talking shit. I don't want to be on this with this guy saying Ted better than Flair's heel run. Like that's crazy talk to me.
I didn't say heel run. Don't misquote me. 90. Don't mince my words, brother.
My bad.
I'm with you, but I'm with you, Chad. But I did love me some DiBiase. He was good at what he did, but yeah, no.
Hell yeah.
He was all right.
It's just that he was not likable. My point is he's not
good at what he did. I mean, to say he was a better heel in general than Flair as a whole, like no way. But I dug him. I dug the briefcase and the flaunt. He was making it rain before making it rain was raining.
Everybody's got a price.
All right,
Remember that.
I'll make it quick,
Jack.
man.
What you got?
My number 2 is Hogan and Flair. Hogan and Flair, because I think that at the end of the road, Hogan villainized Flair more than anybody. I think he lost more sleep about Flair than anybody else. So I put Hogan and Flair high up there.
Hogan versus Flair. When was the best of that? WC, because they did a run.
Well, that happened at the end of their career at WCW.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the first one was good.
It might happen once in WWF, but I don't think it ever did. I think it was just WCW.
God dog Flair, dude, and WCW represented harder for WCW than any fucking body. And he fucking put up a fight every fucking night against them bastards. Every now and then you see fucking DDP. DDP rapped hard as fuck too. And then, Stinger. But yeah, Flair was the backbone WCW.
Match on the Beach, 94. I remember that. That's funny.
There's a ton of matches, dude. They're all great.
For sure.
Flair, Hogan.
I got a little story. Let me give you a little story about when Rowdy Piper met Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. Rowdy Piper was going behind the scenes, and Dusty Rhodes had fucking hemorrhoids. Or no, Ric Flair had hemorrhoids, and fucking Dusty Rhodes was shoving them back up in his ass, and that's how Rowdy Piper met fucking Ric Flair.
Dude, I just sat down and all I heard was
Ric Flair hemorrhoids.
That's how Roddy Piper met Ric Flair, through hemorrhoids and getting shoved up his ass. Oh man, that was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna top that.
Hard time down, if you will.
That's hard times, Daddy. Hard time.
Hard time sitting down. All right.
My number 2 is gonna be Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho, because those to me were some of the best WCW matches, and at the time, I think those guys were forefronting like just the whole cruiserweight type, high flying and just super acrobatic, introducing the different styles of wrestling with both of them. And I think, those, I don't know, just one of my favorite, of course, rivalries of all time, Malenko and Jericho. And of course, I can't have one without Jericho on my list. So
yeah, you kind of like that Jericho guy, huh?
Jericho is probably my favorite. Like,
that's the first time you used it.
My favorite wrestler of all time. Like I don't know what it was about Jericho. Even when he's WCW, when he came over to WWF, like think about this. Like when he came into WWF, his first thing ever was interrupting a Rock promo. So that should tell you, like,
someone big.
Well, not just someone big, like, the potential that they all, I guess, they saw in him. You know what I mean? Like that WCW, they gave him like the IC title and kind of didn't really push him forward. But of course, he got that fair run and he became the first Universal Champ in, wrestling history.
Once he cut his hair, I thought
he beat Triple H and Stone Cold one night.
Yeah, he was legit, man.
So, but now Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho, one of my favorite.
And that was their whole thing, to capitalize on the Y2K, man. I mean, that countdown was iconic for that whole thing. Like that, I remember completely.
I love that Y2J gimmick. So you think that's his, with Jericho being one of your favorite wrestlers, you think Jericho had his best work with Dean, would you say?
I think so. I mean, he had other great matches. He had some great matches with Chris Benoit. He also had, I think the thing is with Jericho, it's really hard to pinpoint like this was like his best match or this was like really his best rivalry. I just think at that time, that rivalry was just a little, it was forefronting that high-paced wrestling, a little more, acrobatic and just athleticism on another level, And I think the thing is with Jericho,
when WWF wasn't doing any of that, right? That's one thing that WCW had that I liked, is like WWF didn't even have a cruiserweight. They didn't even acknowledge those guys, right? It was all big boys. But WCW had a nice little cruiserweight, lighter guy stable.
Yeah. And then the one promo that stands out from that, Sam I Am, he's like so he had this promo because Dean Malenko is known as a man of 1,000 holds. So like Jericho's thing was like, well, I'm a man of 1,001 holds. So like he comes out like with that old school like writer paper, and it's like all like out, and he's like 1 armbar, 2 armbar drag, 3, and he's just going through things, right? And then I watched like a behind the scenes thing on it, and he said like when they went to commercial that he just started shitting on the city that they were in, like, you know, because he knew that the commercial, he goes, I wanted everyone boomy, so that way when they came back, so like the crowd was already booing. So he goes, I started just ripping the fucking city, and then everyone just boo. So when they came back from commercial, I'm just getting torn up, you know, straight heel style, and then he's like 337, like it went from like 50 to like, you know, like he was like still like reading off like the list. It's just so, it was one of the best promos. Like I would definitely say you should go check it out if you've never seen it. So classic Jericho, man. I love me Jericho. He's just been able to evolve with the times, bro. I think that's the best part about him. So
I love you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you, man. Yeah.
Is it me now?
I agree, man. Yeah, Jericho's he really is a modern legend. I agree with that. As far as like staying relevant, he might be only second to like Undertaker or maybe surpass him because Undertaker's done.
I'll say this. Don't get me wrong. Like,
I think he has.
Cool, but you want to talk about someone with like one gimmick, bro? Come on. I mean, the badass, the American badass is okay. Okay, but for sure. But Jericho has been able to like, what has Undertaker done other than rest in peace? Jericho, you got the list. You know, you have, shut the hell up. You have all the Jerichoholics. You know, he's been able to like do something to like keep his character relevant. Undertaker is just badass. So that's why he's just relevant.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, though. You know?
I don't know what they do with Undertaker. They went from the undead dude to the biker to the badass to I don't know. They had a bunch of different ones for him.
No, I mean, but
you're right. He always had the rest in peace, no matter what. They always fused that undead dude.
Taker, but he can't cut a promo like Jericho.
One of
the best promo cutters in the game, man. Like if you look back at that. During the Attitude Era, best 2 on the mic, hands down, were The Rock and Jericho. During the Attitude Era, I don't think there was any 2 better on the mic.
That's fine and all, dude. We're talking charisma, though, bro.
Charisma?
And also, bro, sometimes you don't have. Sometimes your stick work don't get you over, bro.
Well, Jericho has charisma.
I mean, as far as being a consistent consistent main eventer, Undertaker. More so than
I mean, the ambience of Undertaker, dude. You got the lights going out. You got him coming back on. He's got supernatural powers, dude. That's the same kind of shit Hogan had, dude. It's like a guy that's beat to death. He's still got to hulk up, dude. So it's just one of them things, man. He gets over, bro. And that one gimmick, he may only have one. It's fucking good, dude. It's really good.
I get that he gets over, but like, I think to me, as wrestling evolves, you know, I think that to me, that's one of the things that I love Jericho. He's been able to reinvent himself, make himself interesting and relevant all the time, and not just every once in a while. All right, cool, we're gonna bring the Undertaker back up, and you know, so you know,
I had to take it for Flair. You could take it for Undertaker.
Oh, I know, I love Undertaker, but I just don't think he's like. I'll say this: he's probably not in my top 10. And that's how, you know,
top 5,
that's crazy. So for sure, you can have him. He's not. I think there's 10 other better wrestlers, and I'm talking wrestlers.
Yes.
Wrestlers. We're top 10 wrestlers. So I mean, that could be a different time. He's not in my top 10 wrestlers. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well. All right. This is
fair enough.
Yeah,
dude, I could possibly get behind that, Chad, man. As far as strictly wrestling and not personality, yeah, he wasn't that great of a wrestler, but you got to have that pizzazz.
Yeah, and just like I said, and consistently the most consistent career probably of everybody, main eventing, and people care about what you're doing.
So we're still on number 2, right?
Main eventing because Vince McMahon puts him there.
Nah,
Bro,
I mean,
he earns it, dude. Come on, man. He earns it,
you
bro.
can't always say,
storylines that you remember Undertaker and like. All right, well we have
bro.
that.
Undertaker and Kane,
And
legendary.
that's it.
Undertaker
That
and
was
Shawn
his
Michaels.
brother, because that was the only one
Mankind.
that up to
That was
Undertaker.
one.
That was it.
That was
That's
the
the only.
Yokozuna,
Mankind.
Hogan,
Hulk Hogan, Yokozuna, casket matches. Shawn Michaels,
fucking
great WrestleMania
Kamala.
matches.
Mankind.
Yeah, Kamala. Come on now, let's not get crazy.
And every single one of those guys carrying Undertaker because we got no arsenal moves, bro. So you name great wrestlers. He's been put in matches.
Bro, you balance on the ropes and then jump and smash your ass. Come on now.
Power
Jericho had a
bomb
fucking
slams
Boston
the
Crab.
fuck out of people, bro. He's a big man, dude. What's he supposed to do? He's a fucking brute.
Yeah. Jericho did the Boston Crab. That's an old school ass move.
Yeah, you got to remember, bro. Your boy Jericho's like 5 foot nothing, dude. He had to wrestle, bro.
Hey, first Universal champ.
Bro, Vic Hume,
Like
bro.
Stone Cold in the same
I
night.
love you,
Look at
Nani.
that
You're
man.
right, bro. He could wrestle.
All right, this is funny.
I love you, bro.
No, that's why you had to love. Even if you didn't love Jericho, you had to like him because he was a good wrestler. You had to. He was.
And he's damn near the
Yeah,
fuck. He's damn near as close as you can get to Bret Hart as you get, dude.
You know, Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler, man.
Hell yeah, respect. Where do we at? We at number 1, right?
I'm at number 2, man. I got
Yeah.
Stone Cold versus The Rock.
No,
These
it's number
guys.
one. Isn't it?
Yeah, that must be your number 1, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
we just
I got number 1 over here. I didn't get to do number 2. We got so sidetracked with all this other stuff. So
All right, go
Stone
ahead.
Cold versus
I'll
The
think it's
Rock,
okay.
some of the greatest promos and trash talking you're ever gonna hear, man. I mean, you can't beat it. Other than my next one, number 1. So yeah, now we're on to number 1. What do y'all want to do? Who's next?
Yeah, because Biggie, your last one was number 1, yeah? I mean number 2, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. So my number 1, it's undeniable. It's Savage and Hogan. I mean, call it predictable, call it what you will. Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan, as far as rivalry goes, the 2 biggest dudes of that era, masterful build up to the mega power tag team. That was the hugest thing in wrestling at the time. Then the breakup is the hugest. And I also feel like even like rivalry, I feel like there was still a rivalry between who was the top dog between Macho and Hogan too, even when they were both, even the tag team partners. Just that kind of rivalry, real life rivalry, like Biggie Shaq was saying before. You know, I think maybe they let Hogan kind of stunt on Macho a little more than they probably should have, but Macho still got over. He fucking punked Hogan out like a bitch a few times, like in that back room when after Elizabeth, when Elizabeth got hurt and Hogan's back there, and he's like, "You got jealous eyes, Hogan," and he like smacked him up, beat him up. I think it was real life jealousy on Macho's part of Hogan, probably for good cause. You know, the matches were great. I just think when it comes to 2 guys that you'd want to see mix it up and, you know, told a pretty good story along the way, just the most exciting, Macho and Hogan, man.
I mean,
I'm a Macho.
the Mega Power Hour, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Yeah, I mean-
there's got to be a pinch of nostalgia to it, just like the way Chad is with Jericho. I'm always biased with the nostalgia. I'm going to look at Macho stuff more
My
fondly.
straight biasm showed in the last segment over there, yo.
Your Jericho bias putting him over the Taker, bro.
I'm taking Jericho all day, yo.
Come on, man. You know what's funny? I didn't even think about the connection between you and Underwhaler in that little.
I did. I was thinking that the whole time.
Oh wow, that was some subtext I didn't even pick
I
up
was
on.
thinking that.
That makes that shit even more funny. It really is. I love Undertaker. So Hogan and Macho, bang, put the stamp on it. Psh, Mega Power approved. What you got, Big? What's number 1
Agreed.
on Big the Snake's list? I'm dying to know.
Number one, you already talked about it earlier, man. For me personally, because he was my homie, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, the screw job, because so much behind the scenes shit happened. It was real. Bret Hart they didn't want to sign him anymore. They didn't think he could cut it, even though he was still having some of the best matches he's had in his career. And he had signed a contract with WCW, was going to leave. His final match was in Canada. He tried to give the WWF Championship back and lose it the week before instead of losing it in Canada. Vince decided to fuck him over, and Shawn Michaels goes on record saying that, it was his boss, which I get it, man. I get that work ethic, dude. Some dude gives you your whole life and money and a means for living, and if he asks you to do something, you fucking do it. And he pulled the ultimate heel move and fucked the dude over in his home country, where his whole family has been idolized as like the greatest wrestlers of Canada and America in some parts. But it was just real. And the way they fucked him over, like, it came out of nowhere, and for me, that hit me home. It hit home for me because, like I said, Bret the Hitman Hart was one of my favorites. And it also kicked off the heel run for Shawn Michaels, So, yeah, the screw job.
Bye.
Glorious
Damn good.
answer. Damn good answer. Talk about real heat, man. Goddamn. Biggie Shaq-a-mania. Are you going to go with Andre Hogan? I'll choke you. Andre
How did you know, bro?
Andre promos are so fucking funny, dude.
Dude, I'm going with the beginning of Hulkamania. Some people would say it was whenever Hogan beat Iron Sheik, brother. But I would have to say it was whenever Hogan took the big giant up in the Pontiac Silverdome, brother. And he got him up over his head, man. And he looked around, all the Hulkamaniacs, man. They were all going fucking wild, dude. And he threw that big son of a bitch through the middle of the earth, dude.
Dude, I heard he broke a rib doing that or some shit.
I believe
I don't doubt it.
Hell
That's
yeah.
a big motherfucker, bro.
Biggie, what did fucking Hogan do to Andre? What did he do to him, bro?
Dude, Hulkamania was running real wild, man. In the very beginnings of the Hulkamania, man, he ran across this big giant of a man called Andre, brother. And the big Andre, man, he was still the big man in WWF, man. But Hogan was coming with that Hulkamania flavor, dude. And they met up in the Silverdome, man. And when the Hulkamaniacs were screaming wild, brother, and you thought the Hogan had no more left, man, he started shaking, brother. He started getting quaking, dude. And he picked that big son of a bitch up and slammed his ass in the middle of the concrete, in the middle of the earth, dude. And you can feel the Richter scales all the way down in Tokyo, Japan, man. You saw the Richters flapping all over the place, dude.
That's what happened.
It started a
And
whole
that's
new
why it's
era.
number one. That's why it started. That's why it's number one on Biggie Shaq's list. Andre, don't slam me.
Yo, this show.
He done a pretty good. I was watching some promo of him.
Yeah, but
What?
just this show in general is just wild, man. It just makes me laugh.
The back-to-back promo of the same shit, that was a little hardcore, man.
Too funny. All right. So
90.
my number one. It should be no surprise to Kenny, and probably no surprise to Biggie Shaq, because I think I've said this before. I'm going Ric Flair versus the Steamboat. Those who had the best rivalry, I think, in wrestling history. When you talk about wrestling and you want to talk about your boy Dusty Rhodes being the good, clean-cut guy, Ric Flair was being Ric Flair, and you had Steamboat bringing in his family, showing his kid doing karate with him and stuff like that, being that good old American family, So
Dude, he spit that green flame, right? Steamboat.
Yeah, exactly,
Fireball.
bro. Just and
Dude,
then
he was Jake the Snake before Jake the Snake.
And then if you also just look at their matches, man, just they still stand up today. I don't care. They're high paced. They just the chemistry that those two had in the ring, I think it's by far unmatched by any other rivalry, in my opinion. So that's why I have them as my number one. I know I don't know if you've seen any of those matches yet, Kenny, but I would definitely tell you gotta go check them out, man. There's to me the best rivalry in wrestling.
Nice. I've never seen those two square up. I've really
Bro.
just I went through all the Macho,
Ricky the Steamboat
Savage
Dragon
matches.
versus Ric Flair, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And then
Yeah.
the one that Ricky wins, forget about it, bro. That's one of the biggest pops you'll see back in that time, man.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a legit pick, man. I know. Yeah, man, Ricky Steamboat, huh? What a good baby face. Because like you were saying about being a wholesome dude, I noticed that the same with Savage. Of like before his match with Savage, he was calling him Mr. Savage. All right, when I see you, Mr. Savage, in the ring, like he's being respectful of him because he was the champion. Like he knew how to play the good guy well.
I think Ricky was only a face, man. I don't think I've ever seen him play you. Like so, but no, that's just one. Like honestly, man, those matches are just phenomenal, man. So I would definitely tell you go check them out, and then yeah, I'm sure you can find the collection somewhere. It's awesome.
It must be on that network, right? My
No,
WWE
for sure.
network.
Definitely on the network for sure. You know what, Biggie Shaq, hold up, man. You double strapping up, I'm double strapping up.
You gotta get the double stereo strap of vision, brother.
I got
So
See,
be a
Wood,
big 90, man.
You know,
See
We're all
Woodard in the
strapped up,
building.
dude.
yo, we got
Chico.
C Woodard in the building. What's going on?
Chico.
Chico, my man.
My
Oh,
steak is
Love
my
Chico,
crap.
dude. Chico, the originator, brother.
I just want to shout out right because his son's favorite, is Ricky Steamboat. But bro, just shout out to you, man. You're raising your kid right, Jim. You
That's incredible. Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like,
Yo,
Yo, toys, comics, and wrestling.
Bro,
Way to
like,
go.
he knows his stuff. Like, bro, you're raising that kid right, man.
you know what? That's a good point because I remember seeing him unbox Steve Whiting, and it was so cool to me to see a little kid excited because he got Better Ray Bill's first appearance. He's like, "Yo, Better Ray Bill." I was like, "Dude, like
Hell
you just
yeah,
don't."
he knows what's
like,
up, and he's always trying to
Like, Better Ray Bill's kind of a deep cut.
well, this. Like, there was one he got, I think it was from like a church yard sale or something. He got some Galvatron, and I'm like, dude, I used to have that toy, and I commented on it and let him know about it. I'm like, yeah, Galvatron was actually Megatron, and Megatron turned to Galvatron. So, boom, boat right, doing it right.
Yeah, and his
check out Boat Right, man. Go check out his channel. He's got awesome stuff on there. And check out his IG too, man. He's killing the art game.
and I have a piece of artwork coming my way, which I'm very excited about.
I can't
I've
wait to
just been
see
hearing
that.
rumors that it's fire. And I just want to acknowledge his last pick because I don't think either of us mentioned either of these guys, Slaughter and Iron Sheik.
Yeah, man.
It's a pretty good pick, man. I heard someone, we don't have to get into this as a whole other topic, but I saw on like some podcast and the question was posed of if Hulk Hogan never existed, if Vince never found Hogan, who could have possibly, at that time, who could have possibly filled that spot, right?
The American position.
Macho.
Macho,
Same
right?
fucking dude, man.
I think he grew into that, but he's not really the true blue American hero guy, though. You know what I'm saying? Macho's. I always thought
Yeah, because he did have that message, like take your vitamins, say your prayers. Like he did have like that Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA type of thing going for him, man.
And the guy who was, I think it was Bruce Pritchard who answered the question with Sergeant Slaughter. And I was like, damn. I was like, you know what? I bet you at that time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that could have been the case. He's just not very physically like that. He ain't got that.
I don't know. I don't know if you want your fucking guy to look like your phys ed teacher, though, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
might as well just have the big boss man be champ at that.
C-Dub and Stay Puft said so. What was The Rock and Foley for C-Dub, C Woodard,
That I Quit match, come on, man, for sure.
and Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. Gotta love those, man.
I agree with Boat Right. It would have been Hacksaw.
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 Coming in with the flag.
Oh,
I suppose, man. I mean, I guess Hogan, they're just lucky they had.
Bro, I am a cabinet maker.
guy.
I got a 2x4 over there somewhere, bro. I can go get one.
Because Duggan's just not, but it's hard to picture. Like sometimes even I'll be like, yeah, sometimes I knock Hogan down a little bit of a peg because I feel like he was too manufactured. Like he was too over. Like he was going to be over no matter what. But then when you ask the question of like, all right, well, if not him, if it's a plug and play position, who would you plug in? And when you really think about it, that's when you got to give Hogan a little more respect because, all these guys you named, they ain't going to be Dugganomania. I don't think he wasn't that charismatic. Slaughter, I can't see Slaughter power. What do you call it? Body slamming Andre really convincingly.
Lex didn't have any charisma.
No, and that's what a lot of people say. They said, yeah, he looked like he had potential, but it just, he couldn't do it. He couldn't, he didn't have that flair.
Okay, this has been a long show. I think we're going to need to get towards the wrap-up moment. On the way out, I want to mention Sam I Am did shout out the CM Punk John Cena feud. I never really watched any of CM Punk stuff live. I feel like I need to go back because he seems like a wrestler that I would enjoy from the modern era.
Dude, I got to mention, man, that's one feud that we can't let go. It was the Forces of Good versus the Mercenaries of Evil. If you know what I'm talking about, it's WWF featured on the Family Feud. We had Macho Man, Reverend Slick, Crush, Tatanka, and Big Boss Man on the Forces of Good versus Papa Shango, Shawn Michaels, Repo Man, IRS, and Jimmy Hart on the Mercenaries of Evil. They was the ultimate feud, family feud. You can't miss it. It showed how dumb some of them are and how witty and pissed off Macho Man and Shawn Michaels were at each other. So check it out sometime.
Ooh, I gotta watch that. I bet you Macho shined on that shit.
Yeah, him and Shawn Michaels were just throwing some jabs at each other, man.
Oh, that's dope. Slick Rick was on the good guy side?
Reverend Slick.
Reverend Slick, okay. Very good. C. Woodard also shouted out Brett and Owen. That was a nice brother versus brother. As was Cody and Dustin, man. Brother versus brother is a recipe for some good shit. All right, we've come to the end of the Mega Power Hour.
Say it isn't so.
Yep, time to. I guess in the past we usually end off with at least giving a shout out to one channel that is Mega Power Hour approved. I say let's keep that tradition real quick.
We already did. Boat Right, Family and Comics, Mega Power.
Yeah, we threw a bunch out there. Boat Right, Stay Puff, and Drayvon Doom, who I was shouting out earlier with those books.
Bang. You got it. Those three. Biggie Shaq, where you at, brother?
I got a couple shout outs, man. I ain't done shouting out.
Biggie, shout out. Holy shit. What are you? I thought you were trimming your beard with scissors. I was just like, whoa.
I'm getting ready, dude.
Anyways, we saw the magic happen.
Let me see.
Something tells me a shirt's gonna get.
I think I want to shout.
Sorry, go ahead.
You don't give away the gimmick, man. Damn, brother.
I know.
No, you're good. I'm gonna do a shout out to my dude Jaguar, brother, because he's homies with Geeks. I probably shout him out last time a little bit, but he didn't get an official Mega Power shout out. And I think I want to shout out. I want to shout out Khalid, man, because he's been throwing a lot of hot AOKs. The dude, bro, I've connected with him on more of a friendly level now, man. I think he's a dope dude, and it's not easy to get on here and act like everything's fun, shits and giggles all the time, dude. And somehow he pulls it off. So those are my
Caleb, aka Smurf Dog, right?
Big Caleb.
Yeah, and let me give another shout out to Legend in the auction that's coming up, dude. It's gonna be a big deal. Legend with the last live auction,
tomorrow.
brother. I know I'll be popping in there in the chat.
It's actually on right now. It's on right now. So
no shit.
Yeah, if you once
Caleb
you got
sent me something, a video on Instagram, man. I thought it was tomorrow, Sunday auction, and I guess it was something different.
I think it's as we speak, y'all. So you know what time it is. I might hop in there, see what's going on, maybe do a little, something catches my eye. So Tidal, yeah, shout out to Boatwright Comics. You the man, and Seawood. I feel like Seawood is on the same level of hosting ability as my man Legend, that's saying a lot. I think Seawood, the more I've kind of worked with him and seen him in action, I'm like, damn, Seawood is smooth, bro. Good shit. Props to you, gentlemen. Bake the Snake, any parting words for the Power Hour maniacs?
Yeah, man, keep it real and don't forget to have your pet spayed and neutered.
Straight up. 90.
Drink it in, man. The hunt is 90, and you best believe this Friday we're getting ready to defend the title. I'm walking away as hunt champ. I can't wait to defend my title. The last piece came in today, so I'm ready to go, baby.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Outside of that, you already know that YouTube is 90. You can find me on That Geek Show every Monday on MCE, followed by Story Comic Core on the Comic Core as I get down with my boy Kenny, Caleb, and Alec from White Whale Comics as we talk Why the Last Man. Best believe you can find me every Wednesday on my channel, 90MF Comics, as we talk comic books, spec, and more. Every Thursday, Review and a Half Show as I get down with C. Woodard, Edwin the Comic Jabroni, and sometimes we get joined by Who Dat Comics and more as we talk everything Turtles. You want to make sure you're there. And once again, for all you stupid idiots out there that aren't 90-holics already, and don't you ever forget that the hunt is 90. And I can't wait to defend my title this Friday, baby. Go get it.
Tidal. Yeah, I'll just leave you with, before we let Biggie Shaq take us down Santa Monica, I would just say, dudes in this chat, you guys are my guys. Some of my favorite motherfuckers on the YouTubes. Chad, Bake, Biggie Shaq. Always a pleasure to chat with you guys. A genuine pleasure.
And you guys too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Bake's clicked up for sure, man. He's a real ass dude. My man. And as far as Comic Head, 84 programming type shit, I would just say program note, because Graders Notes did not take place Thursday night. Technical difficulties. Tomorrow night. Graders Notes Sunday night edition. She-Hulk. We still got all our notes. We got a couple more days to mull on it and add some notes maybe. So you're going to get a really in-depth Graders Notes episode Sunday. Metarog, Mr. Miracle, Genome, myself. Probably on Mr. Miracle channel, but if there's any difficulties, expect it on your boys. We'll see. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. And everyone out there, take part in Bear Island Comics contest, because that shit was dope, fun, and I want to see other people's squads.
Yeah, the Royal Guard, man. If you haven't seen it, check out Comic Head's Royal Guard post, because that was pretty good.
Yeah, I gave y'all the template on how to make one of those videos, brother. Biggie Shackamania, you want to take us down Santa Monica Boulevard, my friend?
You know I do, dude. This gonna be a special promo, dude.
Brace yourselves, y'all. Okay. We can still see you, Big.
You to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I'm not sure I'm ready for this.
Is he hiding from the camera?
Get him.
I'm waiting, dude.
Oh, you waiting? Oh, to put music
You, bro.
You know I need my audience.
You're fired, Macho Head. You're fired.
I didn't know I was supposed to play something. Hold on. Oh, it's so fucking funny. I'm like, why is he hiding in the corner like that? Oh, the ad's going. I'm gonna give you
last time. I have 30 seconds for the ad.
Oh, damn.
You see, man, there's a whole lot of people in the community, dude. And we're all loving this wrestling gimmick, man. It's just a lot of fun, dude. I'm not gonna say I invented this shit, dude. But I will say, man, I'm having a lot of fucking fun with it, dude. And I got nothing but respect and love for everybody in the community, man. That's the way of the Hulkamania, man. You see, I ain't got no time to be rolling in the mud with any fake jabronis that want to fuck with the Biggie Shack, dude. Just know whenever I say something, man, you can take it to the fucking bank, dude, because it's gold, brother. I don't fuck around and bullshit a motherfucker, dude. So, we're up in here, man, and we're gonna go down Santa Monica, man. And before we get started, Biggie Shack had a long week, dude. I saw Big Joe Ryan, man, with the NWO, brother. And I gotta say, man, anytime you want to get a hold of your big man, Biggie Shack, and anybody you want to fuck with, dude, just let a brother know, dude. And when you're NWO, man, just like the click knows, dude, we're NWO for life.